Hey everybody, it's Katie, and I am here with Mayor Kat Miller from Struthers, Ohio. She is the first woman ever elected mayor of Struthers. First of all, probably most people don't know that you didn't just win, you won big. As I understand it, you won 71% of the vote in the primary, facing a sitting councilman. And
Yes.
then you won with 74% of the vote in the general. So please tell us, Kat, what is your secret power?
I will tell you my secret power is my support system.
Yeah.
My secret power is my husband, is my sister, is my group of mom friends that I have here. I have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old, and we have a group of moms here in Struthers that's a huge compliment to be called a power mom, but I am surrounded by power women.
Yeah. The position that you held before mayor was that you were a secretary in the city prosecutor's office.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
So tell me, like, girl, you got gumption, like, just tell me about that though, how you decided to go from that position to, going for, I mean, obviously you knew what you were doing, you won so resoundingly, with all of this support. But I think a lot of people would read that and this is what we women hear sometimes, right? Well, who does she think she is? Right.
Oh,
But
yeah, absolutely.
how did you get over knowing that obstacle might be out there and, gain the confidence? What made you know that you got this?
That's how I was raised. My mom and dad raised me almost to question everything. Why not? Why can't it be me? Why not try? It's something I've always wanted to do. Even from the beginning, when I was little, I had talked to the mayor who was here in this office before,
Oh,
and
wow.
told him that I was going to be the mayor someday. I have a picture from when I was in high school. We did a job shadowing class. But
That's
yeah,
amazing.
I've always that's just how I was raised, and there's a lot of people from Struthers who have the same mindset.
So did you face criticism? I'm just curious, like, of
Oh
people who, okay, let's hear it. What was part of
so
that?
I think being a woman, you don't know how sometimes to come across, because if you act too confident, then you appear like you're too cocky, and she thinks
Uh-huh.
she's all that. But then if you
Mhm.
don't appear confident, there's a thin line there, because then you sometimes appear weak, and then you have guys in the community that'll say, oh, she's not
Yep.
strong enough to do this job. So you have to kind of find a middle balance of where you're confident but you're not overconfident and you're not too
Mhm.
not confident. So there was a fine line there.
That is a really tough balancing act that women are
Yeah.
supposed to figure out. Like, they're like, confident, but not too confident.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, it's kind of this impossible standard because we have never had a female president of the United States. We have, where's the Ohio legislature? Like, less than 30% women. Like, we're just beginning to have more and more examples of female leadership, but we're charting our own course here. And
Yeah.
so it's not like there is, in some ways, there's some freedom in that, right? Like, there's
Yeah.
no one way. We can make our own way. But on the other hand, like, it's so undefined that it's kind of this difficult, impossible standard.
Yeah. Well, I know we had a rough time with the campaign at some points, because I was always there were people who were giving me advice and say, you have to do this, you have to mudsling, you have to, because that's what they were doing with me. You have to bring up these things from the past. And I kept saying, no, I don't, and I'm not doing it. So I had to stand firm on some things, because we were choosing to do this whole campaign in a whole different way from Northeast Ohio politics. We weren't going to mudsling. We were going to keep everything positive. And we were going to do it the way I felt like, if I got in this office, no matter what, I would feel proud at how we ran the campaign. And if I didn't get in, if I didn't win, I was okay with it too. And even with the confidence part of it, I would be able to sit there and say, no one is going to outwork me and my team. It's not going to happen. And we door knocked. We did everything we needed to do, but people thought I was cocky and too confident at that point, because I said, nobody is going to outwork me. Nobody's going to do as much as we're going to do to try to win this.
Yeah.
So there were some people who didn't like that part of it, but
That's so funny. Well, she's too confident in how hard she'll work. I mean, that makes no sense, actually. What has given you the most joy since becoming mayor of Struthers?
This is actually a funny story, and it probably shouldn't be the biggest joy, but it absolutely was.
Okay.
I had a bus mix up with my son, so I had to pick him up from school, and I had to bring him here. And it was the first week that I was on the job, and we pulled into the parking spot that says Mayor's Parking, and my son looked at me and he said, "Mom, you made it big." And I'm like, "What are you talking?" He goes, "Mom, you have your own parking spot. This is so cool."
That is,
And I know it's something very little, but to me, it was, he
yeah.
went through the campaign with us. He was sick of putting up signs, and he actually came door knocking with me a couple times. But to see how he thought it was just the coolest thing for this parking spot to say mayor's, I, it just, that was the coolest thing. So,
That is
and I'm
awesome.
sure there's going to be a lot of other things, but to me, just as a mom, seeing your son like,
Yes.
"Oh, you're cool, mom."
Yes. This is red wine and blue. So we always like to ask, what is it for you, Kat? A nice white or a nice red?
Well, I would have to say white. I'm not a big drinker, but if I would, because of my mom, it's a white wine. It's Riesling called Chateau Saint Michel.
Oh, yes. I know
That
that one.
Okay, that was one of my mom's favorite. On my aunt, if I'm with my aunt, it has to be Pinot Grigio.
Okay.
She's a big Pinot lady.
You know what? Those are good. Those are good choices. Pinot Grigio, I always find, if I want to have more than a glass like that, there's not going to be a headache involved.
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
be kind to yourself wine. So,
Yes. Yeah.
good. I endorse that. Um, okay, Kat. Well, thank you. You have imparted so much wisdom and inspiration. Thank you for doing what you're doing, and keep leading. Keep being such a wonderful emblem of strong female leadership. We are rooting for you.
Thank you very much.
You bet. All right. Thanks, Kat.
Thank you.